In a quiet town where nothing ever seemed to happen, 4 guys found themselves in the middle of the most ridiculous love quadrangle ever. Meet Dave, Mike, Tom, and Jake, 4 very different dudes, all hopelessly in love with the same girl, Emma. She was smart, funny, and had the kind of smile that could make anyone's day better. But as charming as she was, she had no idea of the madness brewing among her admirers. Dave, the hopeless romantic. First up was Dave. Dave was convinced that every girl dreamed of being serenaded under the moonlight, so he dusted off his old ukulele. Problem was, Dave couldn't play to save his life, but that didn't stop him. One evening, he showed up outside Emma's window, strumming away. Well, trying to. The notes sounded more like a cat in distress than a romantic melody. Emma, oh, Emma, you're like, that thing in the sky, Dave began, only to be interrupted by a neighbor yelling, "Keep it down! Some of us are trying to sleep." Embarrassed but determined, Dave kept at it, believing that with enough persistence, Emma would see his sincerity. Spoiler alert, Emma thought the noise was a raccoon trapped in a garbage can and never looked out the window. Mike Mies, the wannabe bad boy. Then there was Mike. Mike prided himself on being the bad boy of the group, complete with leather jacket and a motorcycle he'd never actually ridden because it was perpetually in the shop. Mike was sure Emma would fall head over heels for him if she saw him revving up that bike. So he borrowed his cousin's old scooter, hoping no one would notice the difference. He rolled up in front of Emma's house, revving the engine like it was a Harley. But just as he tried to pull a cool stunt, the scooter made a sad sputter and died. Emma, walking her dog nearby, gave him a polite smile, thinking he was just some lost delivery guy. Mike's plan to ride off into the sunset with Emma never took off, quite literally. Tom. The pop culture nerd, Tom, on the other hand, thought brains would win the day. He knew Emma loved TV shows, so he memorized all the quotes from her supposed favourite series. Armed with what he thought was an arsenal of inside jokes, Tom approached Emma at the coffee shop. "Winter is coming, Emma. We need to get to Central Perk before the Mind Flayer strikes," Tom declared, confidently, mashing up quotes from 3 different shows. Emma looked at him, trying not to laugh. "Tom, are you okay? That's not even remotely right." Tom's nerdy charm was lost in translation, and he walked away, mumbling about needing to re-watch some episodes of the right show this time. Jake, the overconfident fitness guru, and then there Walwag. Jake was all about fitness, posting daily workout videos on social media and flexing his muscles at every opportunity. He figured a workout challenge would be the perfect way to win Emma's heart. So he set up an elaborate obstacle course in the park, complete with tires to jump through, ropes to climb, and heavy weights to lift. Jake gathered his audience, mainly the other 3 dudes, and began his performance. He went for the heaviest weight first, but halfway through his lift, he let out a yelp and dropped the barbell on his foot. Trying to save face, he switched to jumping jacks, but his foot was in so much pain that he ended up hopping around like a one-legged chicken. Emma, watching from a distance, couldn't help but chuckle at the bizarre display, thinking it was some kind of street performance. As the days went by, the 4 dudes continued to one-up each other in their desperate attempts to win Emma over. Dave's ukulele playing got progressively worse. Mike tried to do stunts on a skateboard since his scooter was out of commission, only to crash into a hedge. Tom attempted to impress Emma with random facts about wildlife, except they were completely wrong, like telling her that penguins could fly. And Jake started wearing a knee brace and carrying around a first aid kit just in case. Finally, after one particularly disastrous day involving a tripped fire alarm, thanks to Mike's smoke bomb surprise gone wrong, the 4 of them ended up at the same cafe, sulking over their failed attempts. "What are we doing?" Dave Dave said, strumming his ukulele absent-mindedly. "This is ridiculous. I thought being a bad boy was all about the attitude, but it turns out you actually need a functioning motorcycle," Mike sighed. "Maybe she'd like me if I got my TV shows straight," Tom mumbled. "Or if I could lift a weight without spraining something," Jake added, wincing as he stretched his leg. They all laughed, realizing how silly they'd been. They had wasted so much energy competing over a crush that they'd forgotten about their friendship, and so they made a pact. No more over-the-top schemes to win Emma over. They'd just be themselves, without all the theatrics. Just as they clinked their coffee cups together in agreement, Emma walked in, holding a cat. She smiled at the group. "Hey guys, meet Mr. Whiskers, my new boyfriend," she joked, cuddling the cat, who was definitely not impressed with any of them. The four dudes exchanged looks, burst into laughter, and realized that sometimes the chase is more fun than the prize. And hey, at least they got a good story out of it. If you want me to continue making unique and entertaining stories, subscribe to my channel.